Hello everybody, it's Delilah and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you exactly how I decluttered and organized and cleaned out our pantry. If you like what you see here and you like to watch motherhood and lifestyle videos as well as watch cute babies, then don't forget to click that subscribe button and please hit that little notification bell so that you don't miss bonus videos like these. In my last video I did a little question of the day and I really enjoyed reading your comments from that question. So question of the day for this video is, what is the one space in your house right now that needs to be decluttered the most? I feel like I have a never-ending list of places that need to be decluttered. And with that, let's get into it. Alright, welcome to my pantry. We have a small house, which means that we have a small pantry. I mean, it's not that bad, but it is on the small side, and as you can see, it was just becoming an overflowing mess, and I was just starting to throw things in there because there wasn't a spot for them anymore. So it's about time I need to throw things out, go through it all, and optimize the space. So I started by taking the aprons that are hanging on the door and threw them in the laundry. And then I started with the bottom 3 shelves. They were full of baking stuff. If you guys didn't know, I have a little bit of an at-home baking business, which means that I need a lot of baking supplies, as you can tell. So I'm using this Mrs. Meyer's all-purpose cleaning spray. This is in the lavender scent. I use this all around the house, especially in the kitchen. I really like the way it smells, and it just makes me more excited to clean when I use a product that smells good. So I'm using this to clean out the bottom of the drawers just because they had a bunch of sugar and flour and gunk build up in them. So then I started to go through all the products, throwing away anything that was expired or going bad, and putting things into jars so I could get rid of the packaging. It just makes it look more clean and organized. I found this bin of gluten-free flours, which I rarely use, so I decided to put that downstairs in our cold storage just to optimize the space that I have in the pantry. I put things in jars like chocolate chips, sugar, and flour. And then I decided to refill these big flour and sugar bins. I put those back into the bottom drawer because I knew that's where I wanted them. And then I began to tackle the rest. So I had lots of things like multiple bags of peanuts that were going bad. There was oil in the bottom of one of the bins, so there was like some food that just needed to be wiped down or thrown away. The bin needed to be cleaned out, stuff like that. So I just went through everything, threw things away that I don't need, moved some things into the basement cold storage, and then organized things into the bins according to what went together, or at least in my head. So then I put them back into the pantry along with the jars and the sugar, the flours, all that stuff, and then the things like the baking soda and the baking powder, vanilla, all those things that just kind of arranged on the 3rd shelf according to what made sense in my head and how I reach for them on a regular basis. Then I moved on to one of the worst shelves in the pantry. This one has like a bunch of snacks and breakfast things like oats and peanut butter, things like that. So I just took it all out and wiped it down again. And then I started going through everything, putting the oats in a jar. I basically grabbed bins from all around my house so that I could make a better storage system, I guess. This bin contains a bunch of Eloise's snacks. It just looks a lot neater in the pantry and it's easier to grab. And then I started to tackle the snack box. We recently got a whole bunch of snacks and treats from the Easter weekend and it was just overflowing. So I basically just arranged everything in a way that fit better so that I could stuff as much as I could into this bin. Once that was all done, I brought it back into the pantry and arranged everything, and it looks so much better. The next drawer was also really bad. It's full of pastas and oils, and I have this thing where I buy pastas and then never make pasta. So I have a lot of it. And then the top drawer had a bunch of canned stuff, like canned beans and canned coconut milk and stuff like that. So I have this giant jar of coconut oil. I hardly ever use coconut oil, so I decided to scoop a bunch of it out into a smaller jar and set the other big jar downstairs in the cold storage so that I could optimize the space in the pantry. And then I had like 2 big jars of rice, which don't know why or how that happened. So I put some into a Ziploc bag to put downstairs for later. And then I used this jar to give a package of pasta a home. I also decided to label everything, which I don't know why I never did this before. Sometimes it gets really confusing with different kinds of pastas and rice, so I just labeled everything to make sure I would remember. And then I found a giant jar of sushi rice, which we never make sushi, so I put that downstairs into the cold storage as well. And then I decided to fill this jar with the rice that we use on a regular basis because it just makes more sense. So then I continued to just arrange everything and fill the jars according to what we needed them for. I also arranged the cans. I divided them into small cans, big cans, savory, and sweet. And then I started putting everything back into the pantry according to height and according to how often we use them. I actually had more space in that drawer, believe it or not, so I put the oats in there so that I could have more space in the snack drawer. I put the cans back into the top drawer as well, and then I also had more space in here, so I added some things that were going to go downstairs into the cold storage, but I kept them up here instead. Once my aprons were clean, I hung them back up, and I was done, and it looks so much better, and I feel so much better when I look in here. I feel good and not stressed. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!